Hello YouTubers, I want to welcome you to another edition of Bargain Bin Gear. Okay, now this is quite an interesting story, and you'll have to follow me on this. Recently I had remodeled my kitchen and enclosed my porch and things. So I had to buy a new refrigerator. Okay, and those new can be very pricey. However, I found this store. It's kind of a scratch and dent warehouse outlet store. Okay, where most of the things they have are scratch and dent. They're still new, but they're sold for like half the price of what it would cost new. So I was in there browsing around, which is where I ended up getting my refrigerator anyway. But, so I was in there browsing around to see if they had any new appliances. Now, in that store, there's a little room to the side of it, and it's kind of like clothing, like jeans and hats and things like that. And I was on my way out, and I don't know why, but just for the heck of it, I decided, well, why don't I just pop in that little room, see what they have. And I was stunned. Out of the corner of my eye in that room, they had 4 boxes. I go, oh, what's this? And it said it was a Donner guitar. Oh, wait, what, a guitar? Really? That isn't a toy, at these outlet stores, maybe a kid's toy or something, but no. No, not at all. In fact, it was a Donner Hush 1 headless guitar. Wow! And it was new in the box, and I would go, wow. And I figured, though I hadn't checked the price of a new one, I figured, well, it's probably half the, new price, so. In any case, they did have a demo of it, out of the box. I go, man, that is the strangest looking guitar. A little tiny headless guitar with a wood body, and then the aluminum plates to make it look like a full-size guitar, I guess. In any case, I picked one up and bought it on the spot, not knowing all that much about it at all. However, I played on the fretboard of the demo unit, and it just played great. I go, wow, this is really cool. Now, I will say I'm very much a fan of headless guitars. In particular, I usually play the bootlegger Spade guitar, and you've probably seen it in videos in the past. And it's basically a headless guitar, standard fare. With a humbucker and single coils and those kinds of things. This particular guitar, though, wasn't anything like that. I go, wow, this is really odd. I finally got the gist of it and realized what it was. And what it is an acoustic guitar, travel guitar. Right? And they call it the silent guitar. The reason is because it sounds like an acoustic, which can fill a room pretty loudly. This one sounds more like a unplugged electric guitar as far as volume wise. And make a long story short, I got it home. And it turned out I had gotten the maple version. Fine with me. Didn't really care that much. So I got it home and realized that it came with these little headphones. So I sat down, put the battery in, and put the headphones in, and took a listen, and I was stunned. Super quiet, right? You couldn't even tell it was plugged in. And when you play, it was quite loud, really, and quite clear. And surely did sound like an acoustic guitar. I should say acoustic electric, if you like. So it turns out it has a piezo pickup. And no humbuckers, no single coils or anything like that. And well, I had a lot of fun just playing on it and listening through the earbuds and things. And the sound was quite big. Now, granted, it didn't have any kind of effects, which I wish they would have done, maybe add a little reverb or chorus, a delay, real basic effects would have been nice. But without it, it's okay. So, and here I had gotten it out of the box and had not put on the aluminum braces on each side. That came much later. So I played it outside, and then I thought, man, what if I can plug that into an amp? So I went inside and plugged it in and played, and it was great. And could get all the effects, from my pedal board and things. And it's very different from something like a bootlegger Spade as far as the sound goes. And the action was quite low. You could play single note things and solos and those kinds of things. We can take a look at it here. Okay, so here it is. Okay, not really. You can't play that one. It's just an outline. Okay, here it is, hanging on the wall, and we'll go through it here. Let me show you. Basically, starting at the top, it just hangs on a screw there. It's got this metal piece. Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay. So anyway, here it is. And you'll notice it's very much a headless guitar. You've got your tuners down here. And the amplifier section is here. And then you've got, to make it look cool if you want to, basically adding these aluminum pieces that kind of give it the outline of a full guitar. And you can basically pop these in and out pretty easily. This one especially doesn't even have any hex screws holding it in. I just popped it in. And this one's a pain in the butt. And that's the one flaw I'd say it has, guitar-wise. And that is, to take it out and things, you have to use this hex screw. And it takes forever to take in and pull it out and things. Most people just leave it like this, Notice it doesn't have any pickups, but it does. It has a piezo pickup on here, I believe. Alright, which is kind of like what you'd find in an acoustic electric. And that's the thing. This is not an electric guitar per se in the sense of a humbuckers and single coil pickups. Instead, it's an acoustic guitar that you can plug in. See if I can get that in there. Ugh. Yeah, right there. I believe that's it. Yeah, you can plug in the guitar into a normal amp, and then it plays kind of like an electric, more of an acoustic electric. And here, this little amplifier section, right, besides controlling the volume, also has 3.5-inch output, which goes to these earbuds, headphones, that come with the guitar. And I was stunned to find that they're actually really high quality. I mean, there's no hiss or hum or anything. And it really sounds good. I wish they had added effects to that, so you could have just built-in reverb and delays and things. But I have to say, it's so clean that you don't even really need that. Now, of course, if you plug it into an amp, then you can have all the effects you want. And here, this is actually an input, 3.5-inch input. That's if you wanted to play along to MP3s and those kinds of things. I believe that's what that is for. Which I've never done, so I don't know. And the body is maple. Right? Maple wood. Kind of bizarre looking. But I tell you, when you play it, it's very comfortable. It's surprising. So here it is. This is a Donner Hush 1. Right? And these things, they should be able to just pull out and put them in real quick because, and I'll show you this, because you want it to fit in the case. Right, here's the case that comes with it. And I mean, besides putting the guitar in there, it also has little pockets for those metal stands, you know. So it'd just be nicer if you could just pop those in and out rather than using hex screws, you know, to connect them. And besides the case, which is really nice, comes with straps, polythene cloth, tuner, a little tiny Donner electric tuner, works great. And then the headbuds come with a case as well. And these aren't cheapos. I mean, these are really, really nice. These aren't dollar store, you know, earbuds that I tried once were terrible. These are actually the real deal. So there you go. That's the Donner Hush 1. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Hush 1 silent guitar. And really, compared to an acoustic guitar, it is silent, but it's more like a, you'll be able to hear it here. Yeah, so it's more like an unplugged electric, is what it sounds like, just by itself. You know, now you could also take that headphone jack and plug it into a powered speaker. If you wanted to do that, a little tiny one would work. And that would be pretty cool too. And so anyway, I thought, man, for $130, I mean, what a deal. I was thrilled with it. You know, and sure enough, I looked online, and it was going for about $299, I think it was. Like on Amazon, for example. And I have to say, it's really well thought out. You know, as far as what's included with the guitar. The strings are already on there. You just have to tune it. It comes with a tuner. Comes with a little pouch for the headphones, And the headphones are kind of like earbuds, But really high quality. I'm really quite impressed. Yeah, and the little case it comes with is cool too. And remember, I didn't have the aluminum stands on, so popped it in the case and could take it anywhere really easily because it's so small. And in fact, my sister saw it and said, "What is that? What do you have there?" Not knowing it was a full-blown guitar. Okay. Now came the part of putting on the little braces on each side, which gives a really cool look and feels more like a real guitar, as far as a real full-bodied guitar. And the top section, the long section, really, you can just pop that in there and not even deal with the hex screws. And, it's not really going anywhere. It stays on there pretty well. This I cannot say for the other side, the little one that goes against your knee and that kind of thing. And that one, when you put it in, it kind of flops around and not very solid at all. And there you have to use the hex screw. And I don't know, maybe I was doing it wrong, but it sure took me a while. Screwing it in and screwing it in to get it to finally be stable and not flop around like that. And that's the thing. I wish you could just pop it in and pop it out so that, in a couple of minutes you can have it back in its case. That'd be the ideal thing, And I think that's the only flaw of this guitar. And by the way, they also say that the neck is symmetrical or something like that. It's a very nice neck, in other words. And very playable as well. So that's my only qualm about it, is that little bottom piece. Surely there must be a way to just be able to pop it in and pop it out without using the hex screw, Or maybe I had a stripped hex screw or something. I'm not sure. I'll find out about that. The other thing is, I hope they sell those braces separately, because those are things that are bound to be lost or broken or that kind of thing. Even though it's metal, it's kind of aluminum. They can break very easily. But they look pretty cool. Quite frankly, once I got the braces on, I didn't really take them off. Especially the bottom one. It was a pain in the butt to get it on there, It took like 10-15 minutes. So that part's kind of a drag, but for $130, so you can't expect much. And I thought it sounded really great. And in fact, I recorded 3 tracks for my album Volume 397, and Volume 398 is entirely that guitar. I recorded the entire album with it, and definitely gave me a different sound. And in fact, the very first recording I did with it is on 397. I think it's a 7th track, maybe. And it very much sounds like an acoustic guitar, really. So let's take a listen to it. See if this is something you may be interested in. Okay, now I've got the guitar here. And this is plugged into an amp, but no effects. This is just the guitar. Okay, and now on this little preamp here, we've got a volume control, which really works. So if I turn that up, okay. Now the next one is the bass control. And here I have it all the way down. And I'll turn it up halfway. I'll turn it all the way up. Okay. And then you have a high control for the high speed. And at the moment it's turned all the way down. Halfway mark, you get. And here we'll turn it up all the way. Alright, so. You also have a phase switch in case you get any kind of feedback or things. And it really does sound kind of like an acoustic guitar, you know? try it with some effects. And the first one is just adding some reverb, right? Reverby. Traditional effects to that too. I mean, things like here we're adding a delay, right? Loop that as well. So anyway, you can see you can use just standard guitar effects with it. It's a really interesting sound. It's not quite like an electric. You gotta get used to that finger noise. It's almost like people playing basketball or something. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities. This one should be odd. It's kind of a swell type sound. Let's see what that sounds like. Here's using the Mellotron. kind of a choir, right? tell, it can sound like an acoustic guitar, acoustic electric guitar, or just even sound like an electric guitar. Works well with effects and looping and those kinds of things as well. Okay, overall, I love the feel of the guitar, I love the sound of the guitar. The attention to detail is amazing. Doesn't feel cheap at all, you know. The little case is great, the accessories are great. There's no complaints at all. And for the price, I mean, you just can't go wrong. I'd say even at $2.99, it's still a great guitar. Granted, my only qualm is that little bottom edge there, a little brace, and the fact that you have to use a hex screw to tighten it up can take a while. And unfortunately, you can't put it in the case unless you take it off first. You know, unless there's some kind of homemade solution that could solve that. Anyway, but boy, it was fun, and I never expected to find it at an appliance store, you know. I mean, that was totally strange. But worked out great, and I'm glad I tried it, and glad I bought it too. You know, it's refreshing to get a different sound out of a different guitar, because I've been using the bootlegger Spade guitar for quite a while, so this was refreshing to get a different kind of guitar sound out of it. And yeah, if you want to see what I did with it recording wise, volume 398 is completely recorded with that guitar, and I think 3 tracks from volume 397, the 3 last tracks, are also with that guitar, you know. Very interesting guitar, and you know, if you travel somewhere or take it, you know, to some place where you got to be pretty quiet, you know, it works great for that too. I was quite impressed with it, you know. And it would sound like a unplugged electric, you know, which is not very loud to begin with. But even those headbuds, much more satisfying. So there you go. There's the Donner Hush 1 silent guitar, they call it. Highly recommended, surprisingly. You know, and I'll tell you what, it doesn't feel cheap at all. You know, there's no substandard things about it except for that little bottom knee brace, whatever. Alright, very good. Wanted to show you that. Alright, very good. See you next time. Okay, bye.